everyone. Welcome to my lecture on the topic Methods of Demand Forecasting. Basically, demand forecasting is an essential prerequisite for any supply chain planner which gives an idea of the possible demand trends in the future. It not only uses scientific methods, it is not only just to assess the demand for any product, but it uses a scientific and objective methods to estimate the trends. And this forecast is going to helpful both the new as well as the existing organizations in the market. The process of predicting the demand for the organization products and services in a specified time period, and that too it can be for a new as well as the existing commodities in the market. So basically the characteristic features of a demand forecasting should be simplicity. That is, it should be a simple method adopted rather than a complex method, and it should be accurate enough so that it facilitates managers to take appropriate decisions. Reliable, that is, a method should be very much reliable as well as, and it should be accepted generally. Flexibility, the method or the demand forecasting method should be very much flexible enough, and it should provide for any possibility of making any necessary changes during the period of conducting the study. When there are fluctuations in the economic activities, it should be less expensive. The method should have a universal acceptance or universal applicability, and availability of the information, that is the result or the data after conducting the demand forecasting, should be collected and made available as and when required for the managers as well as the other competent parties to take appropriate or a right amount of decisions in the process of conducting their businesses. Now, the next concept is types of forecast. So basically, demand forecasting is segregated into three levels. That is, level of forecasting, time period involved, as well as the nature of the commodities. Under the level of forecasting, it will be firm level, industry level, as well as a economy level. Firm level is a macro study. Industry level as well as an economy level forecasting will be a macro study. And time period involved in the process of conducting the forecast or the demand forecast is short-term forecasting. Basically, this is done for the goods and services within a period of time, within a period of 1 year. Which relates to the policies regarding sales, purchases, prices, or existing production capacity of the firm as such. Now coming to the next one is long-term forecasting. It is a planning for a new product. It will be a planning for a new product or an expansion of the present unit. You are going to rely upon the long-term forecasting of the demand. Next one is nature of the commodities. So here the demand forecasting will be done for the consumer goods as well as the capital goods. Consumer goods are nothing but the final commodities or the final products which are used by the consumers. Capital goods are nothing but used for the production of the consumer goods. These two are interdependent on each other as well as directly related, because the demand of the capital goods will be outrightly depending upon the demand of the consumer goods. More the consumer demands a particular product, relevantly a producer goods also will be in demand in order to produce the consumer products. Methods of demand forecasting. Methods of demand forecasting. This is a chart representing the different methods adopted in order to conduct a demand forecasting. Right? The first one is quantitative techniques. First one is qualitative techniques. Next one is quantitative techniques, and the third one is here is other methods, right? So under this quantitative techniques, it is again subdivided into two parts. The one is survey method and next one is opinion method. Survey method again subclassified and subdivided into, this is one part, this is a complete enumeration method or a census survey also. We call this one as a census survey, or which is a complete enumeration method also it is referred as. Here under this particular method, where all the potential buyers are asked about their future purchase plans, that is they all are made a part of the study. So the results which you are going to get when you are conducting this particular method of study, the result will be reliable enough as well as authentic. But the basic disadvantages here is it will be more expensive in conducting that forecast, as well as it requires lot amount of time in doing so. So next option available under this survey method is sample survey, which is also referred as a partial enumeration method. Partial enumeration method here, a sample of potential buyers are chosen scientifically and only those chosen are interviewed, and the final result of the survey will be made applicable to the entire population. So here, even though the conduction of the survey or the forecasting of the demand will be done within a less time compared to the earlier method, that is census method, but the thing is the result, the outcome may not be that realistic or that real enough to rely upon. The next one is opinion polls method, or else called as a sales force opinion method. Under here, the sales force or the sales executives' opinions or the collection of the information will be considered for the purpose of assessing the demand for any product for which the demand forecasting is done. The next one is quantitative techniques. Quantitative techniques, we have a time series analysis here. Time series analysis, exponential smoothing techniques, barometric methods, econometric methods, as well as regression analysis. Under time series analysis, here the past data is used to forecast the future demand, and it can be presented in either a tabular form or a graphical representation. Right? The next one here, the seasonal aspects, the trends and everything will be taken into consideration in projecting the demand or in estimating the demand for a product. Next one is exponential smoothing. Exponential smoothing is a weighted average method technique, and this is basically used in order to conduct the survey or in order to conduct the forecast very quickly within a short period of time. So this is the formula generally used in order to conduct a exponential smoothing method of when you are adopting exponential smoothing method of demand forecasting. It is Ft is equal to xt plus 1 minus alpha into Ft minus 1, where xt is the current observation, Ft minus 1 is a previous forecast, and alpha is the smoothing coefficient. T is the time period for which you are conducting the forecast. Next one is barometric technique. Barometric technique, present events are used to predict the directions of changes in future. Barometric techniques. Next one is econometric methods. Under econometric methods, huge amount of data is required for this particular survey or the method, based on the past sales data and the relevant economic market factors, which will be highly this particular results After conducting this particular study, the results are more reliable or highly reliable and accurate for the goods with long sales history. Next one is regression analysis. Regression analysis is nothing but it helps us to understand the relation between the two variables for the purpose of the study, which we are considering for the purpose of the study, and they are going to decide whether which is a dependent and which is an independent variable, and whether they are correlated or whether and their correlation, right? This regression analysis is basically gives us an idea to what extent one variable is dependent upon the another variable. So the equation used to conduct for calculation of this particular study is y is equal to a plus bx. Under other methods, first one is test marketing method. Test marketing method involves conducting a limited scale launch of a new product or a service in a specific geographical area to estimate or to understand the pulse of the customers. So thereby they are going to understand the overall the possible or the potential demand for that particular product in its near future. The next one is experts opinion method. It is also called as Delphi technique. Delphi technique is a method of group consensus which involves collecting the predictions and opinions from a panel of experts. It is helpful for the complex forecasting problems. Next one is controlled experiments. Controlled experiments is just similar to like conducting an experiment with relevant variables where they are manipulated in order to take measurements to discover the relationship between the variables for the purpose of the study. The next one is judgmental approach. When there is a complete lack of historical data, when a new product is launched, in that cases, when they don't have a sufficient amount of information for conducting the study, so the judgmental forecasting is taken up as a last option. Right? Now coming to the next concept here, steps in demand forecasting. So basically these are the steps followed for the purpose of conducting the demand forecasting. First one is specifying the objective. Specifying the objective is nothing but specifying the objective for the purpose of conducting the study. For what purpose you are conducting the study is the objective. Next one is determining the time perspective, whether it is for a long run period or whether it is a short run period. Selecting the method of forecasting. Out of all the listed forecasting methods, the suitable method, whatever it is feasible for them, that forecasting method has to be mentioned here. Collecting and adjusting the data depending upon the method what they have selected for the purpose of the study, conducting the study. That is a fourth step. And next one is interpreting the outcomes. So interpreting the outcomes is the final result which they are going to use it for the purpose of implementation. That is for the purpose of taking the decision pertaining to the demand for that particular product for which they have conducted the study, or for the product which they have conducted the demand forecasting. With this, I am ending the session here. Thank you.